Hello, everyone. Welcome to Life Groups. Glad that you're gathering together, and it's going to be a great time together. Have a few questions for you from this last week's message on our 7 letters to 7 churches. We've been talking about the church there in Smyrna, and we talk about how that church really didn't receive any correction or complaints, and that Jesus really just brought encouragement to the church to stay strong and to keep on living out their faith. But let me give you a couple questions from Sunday's message that, or at least one question to start off with from Sunday's message that you can start to discuss. The first question I have for you: why did Jesus open his letter with a description of himself? If you remember, he says, from the one who is the first and the last, and who was dead, but now alive. Talk about why did Jesus open up with that question, his letter that way. What was that meant? How did that maybe encourage them? What did that lead them to? Take some time to discuss, and we'll be back in just a moment. Hey, welcome back. Hopefully you had some great discussion. As I was thinking about that verse, even after Sunday, I started thinking about how the first and the last, which really talks about the idea that Jesus was there from creation on, talks about the omnipresence of God. And then really that even though he was dead, now he's alive, it really speaks to the omnipotence of God as well, that he is all powerful. And there's something just encouraging, I think, as a believer, to know that we serve an omnipresent God, an omnipotent God, that there's nothing impossible with Jesus. And so as he opens up this letter, he is telling us that, hey, he knows about everything that's taken place, and he's with us, and he has never left us, and he has the power to conquer even death. And so hopefully that brings some encouragement. Second question I want to share with you today is this: how did Jesus encourage the church in Smyrna? And how did Jesus challenge them? How did Jesus encourage the church in Smyrna, and then how did he challenge them? Take some time to study that out and have some discussion, and I'll be back in a few moments. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Hopefully some great discussion took place. And I was thinking about this one, especially in verse 9. There's 2 different times where Jesus says, I know, where he uses the word I know. He knew their poverty. He knew the persecution that they were facing. And as I was thinking about that thought, and he also knew about the lies that were being shared about them. And I was thinking about that thought. Sometimes when we're going through difficult times, when we're going through persecution, sometimes it's just nice to have someone who knows that we're not alone, that someone understands. And Jesus is there. He understands. He's gone through persecution. He's gone through times of loneliness. He's had lies told about him. He knows. And I think that just brings an encouragement to the church as well. And hopefully you had some other great discussion over that question. Here's the third question I want to share with you today. Discuss why Jesus challenged the believers in Smyrna not to fear their suffering. It seems like it's so contradictory towards what we would want to do. If we're suffering or facing death, there's a natural fear in us. We talked about this on Sunday, but I want you guys to go a little deeper. Why did Jesus tell them not to fear? Take some time to discuss. So hopefully you had enough time to have some great discussion on that. I was thinking about fear and faith. Jesus said, don't fear the suffering. Don't fear what's coming ahead. And I was thinking about that in my own life. Fear is opposite of faith. And when I fear something, it binds me to whatever that is. It binds me to brokenness. It binds me to poverty. It binds me to hopelessness. But when I have faith in my life, what faith does to me, it binds me to an almighty God where I can overcome brokenness, where I can overcome that fear of devastation or the fear of death. I can overcome those things because I have faith in an almighty God. So hopefully you had great discussion on that. And for the last question, which I'm not going to come back, so before I give you my last question that you can take some time to discuss, let me remind you that this Sunday we're actually starting Vertical Marriage. It's going to be a great opportunity right after church, and we're providing church children's ministry or childcare. Actually going to have some cheese pizza for the kids so that they can enjoy that. So we would love for you to be a part of that. It's going to meet in the team room. And if you have any questions, you can go into the lobby and we'll have people there to direct you to the class starting this Sunday. You can invite some friends of yours that maybe you don't even go to the church, but you know that they would benefit from being a part of a marriage class. Invite them to attend as well. We'd love to see you there. Final question for you today for our life groups is this. Have you ever faced persecution? Have you ever faced slander? Have you ever had someone lie about you? And mainly because you're a Christ follower, because you're a person who loves Jesus. And if you have had that experience, how did you respond? How did you respond to that? I want you to take some time to discuss that as a group. Hopefully you're open enough to be able to share that, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because so many times we gain encouragement from others who are sharing. And that was Allie, who bumped her elbow against the camera. That's why it shook. It was not an earthquake. You know, we're working with all these different things today. Love you guys. Have a great, great day. God bless.